you know what? I decided I don't like this little sticker anymore. So we're gonna take it off.
And I've been counting days to get away.
So this is what's gonna be going away. Because quite frankly, it looks like shit. Come on, that looks so much cleaner. I hated that. I always hated the stupid freaking registration sticker. It just kind of was an eyesore right on the plate, and it was just, it was annoying. So we ripped that puppy right off, and now it's nice and pretty. We have a box. Now what's in this box, believe it or not, is a McLaren part. So a piece of the car basically fell off, broke, tore, whatever you want to call it. And I had originally thought that it was just basically a simple piece. I didn't really have to replace it. It was under the front bumper. And I found out that it's an actual aerodynamic piece of the car, as well as a rubber stop kind of buffer piece. So McLaren, being McLaren, you know, engineered a 2-for-1 piece. So I kind of had to replace it, and I had to buy it. And unfortunately, OEM is the way to go. So let's get this open, and I'll show you guys what it is. So here we have a massive piece of rubber. McLaren, made to McLaren specification UK. And this, as oddly shaped as it is a piece that goes under the car. It goes under, there's a side, there's one on the left side and the right side, under the front bumper, right before the tire. So this piece, what it does is, it is a scrape guard. So the 12Cs, especially the 2012s, don't have the front lift option available to them when they were first introduced. So these are under the outer edges of the bumper, under the bumper, and what they do is they're a scrape guard, so they help protect against scraping. But what I found out when you're looking at it, you're like, well, why is it shaped? You know, it's shaped a certain way. There's some certain angles on this. I don't know if you can see the profile or not, but it's definitely shaped more than just a piece of rubber that goes under the car as a scrape guard. So I was like, okay, well, let me look into this a little more. And after talking with some of the guys at Philly, with Evan in service, he had told me, and this makes sense, that this is actually an aerodynamic piece as well. So what it does is it takes the air coming in under the car and helps push it around the front tire, so you're not hitting that flat spot of the front tire. So it's bending the air around the tire to keep front end lift down. So I was looking into this more and more, and there's a lot of guys on the forums, and there's a lot of people who these have just been ripped off, and they're like, oh, well, they got ripped off in the scrape guard, and I don't need to replace them because they're so expensive, and this and that. Well, guys, if you're watching, this is an actual functional aero piece, so go ahead and replace it. I was, you know, sitting here bitching up a storm because parts for these cars aren't cheap, and I was just like, you know what, I really, before I knew this was an aerodynamic piece, I was like, if there's some way I can MacGyver the old one back together, I'm going to do so. And what we'll do is we'll go downstairs in the garage here in a second, and I'll show you the old piece and how it's torn up. And I did actually MacGyver it, but it fell apart within, I don't know, 2 drives. It just broke apart again, and the rubber, you know, it's rubber out in the elements. So I wasn't going to replace it, and I ended up finally getting a good price on this. This piece right here, take a guess what this cost. This rubber piece. Now you're thinking of McLaren here, right? You know, the McLaren, according to Rob Ferretti's got the bajillion-dollar steering rack, and you know, you're talking about a $2,000 battery, $2,500 battery. So naturally, I was very concerned about getting this piece. I called, we figured everything out. Lo and behold, 112 bucks, right? Okay, $112 is still $112, but I was expecting at minimum, 300. So it was nice. I mean, this has got to be the most ridiculously priced McLaren part in terms of ridiculously cheap. I was pleasantly surprised. So, you know, it's good to know for the other side, if the other side, you know, breaks and falls off, that it's going to be the same price. The exact same piece, just flopped, you know, for the other side. So, that's good to know that these are cheap. So guys, if you're watching and you own a 12C and you're missing these at the bottom of the car, get them replaced. I will show you the old piece in the garage, what happened to it, where it broke. The old piece kind of broke in the middle here, so it just had a big piece kept hanging down, and it was dragging, and it looked terrible and embarrassing, and it scraped everywhere. It just made terrible noises. So go down to the garage and I'll show you that piece, compare it to this one, and then we will get this one installed. Holy shitballs, it's cold in here. Better. Alright, so here is the new piece, right? You guys have seen that. Here's the new piece. Let me get this out of the way. Here's the old piece. So you can see what happened here, where it would mount, just kind of tore and broke off. But there they are, side by side. So what I initially did do to fix this, you know, this mounts on the car like that. You know, this is the front bumpers here. You'll see here. I'll show you. It mounts like this, you know, up into the bumper, and it mounts like that. So what happened was, initially, this was still attached and this was still on here. So I got a big washer, about a inch washer, to put in there to hold this piece up, because this was torn and falling down, and I bolted it up and it held all of that in there. Well, then this fell off, and the whole thing finally, you know, this thing would just hang down like this, and it looked retarded. So needless to say, I was like, that's gotta get replaced now. There's all my stuff over here. So I'll take that. That's the washer I put in, so I'll take that washer out, as that's not a factory piece. But yeah, I was really pleasantly surprised the price of this thing. So let me go and get my stuff ready, and we will put this piece on, and I will show you it installed into the car so you guys get a better idea of the function of it. Alright guys, here you can see, get under the car. I'll show you here. Pull this out a little bit. So, this is a piece right here. So you can see without that, I mean, it hangs down pretty low. And without that there, yeah, it's a scrape guard, but it's also, again, aerodynamically supposed to be there. So it takes the front tire, it takes the wind coming around the tire, the under the car, and sends it inward, so it helps reduce that front end lift. So that was just, it was three hex here. I think it was an 8mm and a little two Torx screws in the back, and that was it. I mean, thankfully it wasn't expensive. Like I said, I was quite impressed the fact that it was only it was a little over $100. So I'm gonna tighten everything up, and yeah, hopefully none more of the stupid hanging down shit, and it doesn't get caught. But you know, what can you do? Who says you can't work on your supercars, right? Right? Well guys, again, I'm really, really glad that that was only a little over $100. I was really, really worried that it was going to be super expensive, and it was just nice to hear that it was surprisingly reasonably priced. So all the horror stories that you hear, don't think that every nut and bolt and everything on this car is 4 figures at minimum. I'm not saying that $112 or whatever it was, a little over $100 is cheap for a piece of rubber, but in terms of the car and McLaren standards, that is cheap. I mean, when you're talking about $70K for a drivetrain, you know, $100 is, I'll take it. And unfortunately, that wasn't covered under warranty because it's considered a wear and tear item. I mean, that can scrape, that can get caught on a speed bump, whatever. So I was very, very happy to find out that it was really not that expensive. But you know, I can understand people's worries with these cars, and I can understand why they're, you know, saying these cars are just not worth to have. And though I respectfully disagree with you, I see your point. These cars are great to have, and just get them under warranty, because if they're under warranty, they cover all the major super duper expensive stuff. So outside of the battery costing $2,000, you know, that is what it is. But that's why it always stays on the tender. So keeps the battery charged and everything. So it was nice to find that that was cheap. It was easy to install, surprisingly no lift. I mean, it was three bolts, took 5 minutes as you saw, took longer for the damn part to get here, but again, a little over $100. So if you are a 12C owner and you are watching this and you don't have those, definitely replace them. Call McLaren Philadelphia, call Evan in service. He will get you squared away, get you sorted out, get the thing shipped to you right away, and go ahead and install them yourself. Little update quick too, next month is Motorama in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I will be there, Mike will be there, Nick will be there, Andy will be there, Shane will be there. Big group of us will be there. So come out, I believe it's the 18th and 19th, Saturday, February 18th and 19th. If not, look below, I'll put the info for that below. So we'll all be there. This car will be there. I'm not sure what Shane's booth is going to be like. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be in Shane's booth. I'm not sure what Andy's booth is going to be like, but I know all of us will be there, and we want you guys to come out and hang out with us. We'll be there both days. At least I will. I'll be there the day before, Friday, bringing the car over and setting up and everything and getting the car detailed, because we all know how I am. So yeah, come out and see us and say hi. We'll bring some stuff to give away, and it should be a good weekend. So just wanted to give you guys a little update on that. If you guys like this video, do me a favor, click the red subscribe button, click the bell icon so you get notified of future uploads. Follow me on Instagram at Troy Sowers, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.